Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my visual podcast where I talk about my struggles with self-loathing, self-esteem issues, procrastination, and more, and especially with relating to art and how that affects my artistic career, and all that good stuff. But today's episode, as you can see from the title, you can probably guess what I'm going through right now. It's been about 2 weeks now where my boyfriend and I broke up, and I'm doing much better than the first week. So the only way that this really affects or how I can relate this to art in some way is that it definitely affected my productivity by a lot in that first week and second week. It's just nice, I guess, that I kind of, just have all these like tools, quote unquote, or like, just all this like personal development and these books and stuff that has helped me a lot. Of course, friends help a lot, but just like learning about all these like topics and concepts has just helped me a lot in terms of just how to put things in perspective, and so not feeling like everything is doomed, because this stuff, like, it's really easy to just think of the worst possible thing, right? Like, you're never going to find another person, or I'm never going to find another person like him. I'm going to die alone, all that stuff. But I tried to write an outline for this episode, for this podcast app, and it just didn't really work out. I really had no idea how to structure this, so I hope you're okay with me kind of just word vomiting about this stuff. I'm completely going to avoid talking about the details of it and of, just the circumstances, because I don't think that's the important part, because all breakups, I think essentially there's a lot of different circumstances, but the feelings and all the stuff that you have to deal with is kind of the same. And also, more importantly, I think, is I want to respect his privacy. So I guess it definitely affected my work. Of course, it just came with a lot of feelings of sadness and regret and wishing things were different and all that kind of stuff. And it's just a shitty situation. That's really all it is. It's really crappy. This is my third relationship this is the third breakup I've had, and this was by far so messy. This one was like not smooth in any way. It just happens. I mean, and it's hard not to think that something is super wrong, because my first two relationships, we ended very amicably. We don't talk, but like we're definitely on good terms, kind of thing. And this one is not like that, and it's a really sad situation. But it is what it is, and I guess it's just another. I mean, it's kind of good in the sense that now I have like this new thing that sucks, but it's like I'm gonna be okay, right? Like, yeah, it's really scary, and it's really tempting to go down thoughts and avenues of like something's wrong with you, like you handled that so poorly, or like that was just normal people, well-adjusted people, all that kind of stuff, like would have done like a way better job, like a quote-unquote better person would have done just a better job with the whole situation. And But luckily, it wasn't actually far into it, but that I was like, I think we both really did the best that we could with what we had. We both did the best that we could with what we knew. Yeah, so, phew, it really feels really good to be on this side now to talk about it. But yeah, there was no way I would have been able to like record a podcast or whatever on the week that it was really bad. But so recently I finished this book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. And it's made a really huge impact in my life. I'm going to be doing a video on this book. And one of the biggest things that I learned from that book, which really blew me away, like it like made me so surprised, was that so the book is about two different kinds of mindsets. There's the fixed mindset, which is the mindset where you believe that anything, any capability, any trait that you have is completely fixed, that it's like you can't change it. It's completely defined since the day you were born, and then you'll be the same until the day you die. Like, you're either smart or not. You're either attractive or not. You're either funny or not. You're either a debater or not, yada yada. And then there's the growth mindset, and that mindset is more about like you believing that with hard work, patience, experimentation, practice, just trying all sorts of things and trying to get better, you can get better at anything. Like you can learn any new skill and get better and better. It's based on the belief that you can change, and and they talk a lot about how like it's the people with the growth mindset that actually shows the most like I guess well-adjustedness or like success in life, I guess, and pretty much are generally happier because they believe that they can change, and if that feels good and they can get better, and so one of the things that I learned from that book is that like they did this study on students during a time in college where it's pretty like depressing and stressful, like a lot of exams are happening, and I think maybe it's like crappy weather, and they were able to measure if a student was fixed mindset or growth mindset. And they did that just by, asking them, hey, do you agree that your traits are fixed, or do you agree that any capabilities can be learned and changed and grown? And that's how they can find out if they're in the fixed mindset or in the growth mindset. And super crazy findings that they found is that people with the fixed mindset were experiencing a lot more depression than those with the growth mindset. And that's because they ruminate over their problems. They see it as like a lack on their side, like how things should all go right. Like if they're smart people, or if they're good people, then nothing should really go wrong, I guess. You shouldn't need to put effort. You should just be good at whatever it is you do, or life should just be not easy, but it should just be all right. Whereas people with the growth mindset, they are experiencing just as much depression, but they actually work really hard to stay on top of things. Like the more depressed they felt, like the worse they felt, the more they worked at their schoolwork, the more they cleaned up their apartment, the more they tried to see friends, like the more they pretty much did anything to make themselves feel better. So they were just as stressed and just as depressed. But like it's pretty much like complete opposite to the fixed mindset. And for me in the past, like this breakup would have been a prime excuse in my head for like why I should just stay in bed all day, why I shouldn't bother getting dressed nice or just like kind of putting together, you know, even putting on deodorant, like why I shouldn't bother like making a meal, why I shouldn't bother going to see friends. Like I was very, very hard in the fixed mindset and kind of like, yeah, this would have been like an easy target for me to be like, oh, like I'm depressed. Like I deserve to stay in bed. I deserve to not do anything hard right now because I'm depressed. So from that book and from just that part, like I tried really hard to apply that to my life. And I'm not saying at all that I did well. In the previous podcast, I talked about my my morning routine, and it's pretty elaborate, right? It's like it takes about 3 hours. Yeah, there's journaling involved, there's affirmations involved, there's some exercise involved, there's some reading involved. Yeah, it's a pretty like elaborate, and it's long, but I did my freaking best, even on some of the worst days, to keep up with it. And honestly, I did very poorly. Like, there were still a lot of things I skipped. Like, there were definitely days where I didn't want to do any exercise, and I didn't. And there were many, I think most days, it's where I avoided doing the stream of consciousness writing, like the thought downloads, where you kind of take a look at your mind, right? Like, you take a look at your thoughts, and you take a look at what you're really thinking, that contributes to how you're feeling. And for me, I was really avoiding those thought downloads. I was really like, I was avoiding them because I was afraid to see what I was thinking. And I was afraid to see what I was thinking that will then make me feel some really, really shitty feelings. So essentially, I was just really afraid of what like I was gonna feel if I see my thoughts, even though intellectually I and a lot of us know that no feeling lasts forever, right? Like you'll feel something and it'll suck. It'll suck in the moment, but it does go away. And so and actually like facing my thoughts, like once I got myself to do a thought download one day, it just helps so much, right? Like it really sucks to take a look in there, but then it just clarifies a lot of things to like just be aware of what's happening in your mind, and then facing the feelings that you feel, and time passes and it passes. It really doesn't feel like it at the time, but I think we get better and better at understanding that these feelings will pass as we face the feelings more and more, instead of like hiding from them by, you know, staying under the covers like I would have in the past and just watched YouTube all day or watched Netflix all day. I mean, it was really tempting to do that stuff, but I got myself out of bed every single day. Sometimes I slept in late. Again, I did it very poorly, but it was so much better than nothing. And I just feel really thankful that I read that book and I got that part kind of like before this happened. Because yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, at least just doing my best to try and keep up with that morning routine, I think made a really, really crappy, shitty experience like just the slightest bit less crappy. And now I'm doing better, and now like things are getting back in motion and all that stuff, and not just the morning routine. Like because part of my morning routine is also the personal work. So I still drew. Of course, it was hard. Because I just tried to play like podcasts or something in the background, or music, so that like I could just focus on the drawing or the painting. And yeah, again, I just did my best. That's really it. And it's a really great book. Again, like I said, I'm going to make a video about it. You guys should pick it up if you're interested in learning about mindset, because I think so far that that's like one of the, I mean, I haven't read that many books yet. That's only my second book, but I'm just really glad to have read it because it's really, really good. Okay, what else? So from this video, as you can see that I have male sketches, which I've never really done. I never draw guys. So that's really nice. Like that helped kind of boost a little bit of confidence, I guess, just to be like, oh, I guess I could draw guys if I wanted to. From photo reference. Yeah, maybe I could do it from memory, I don't know. And then, I mean, trying to look at like the good, right? Like, and this is not in like a cheap attempt to try and be super positive about like a crappy situation, but an actually like good, cool thing that I'm experiencing right now because of this breakup is that, well, now I kind of have like this huge, not freedom, but like I have a big like possibility of where I can go. Like I can literally go anywhere in the world, sort of. I have a few ideas. I could go back to traveling. For those who don't know, I went backpacking for 3 months. I think it was more like, no, it was more like 6. It was supposed to be a year-long trip, but then I met my boyfriend, and now so currently I'm at my dad's house in Indonesia. I'm gonna stay here for a little bit to save some money, just kind of focus on the business as much as I can, a lot actually, but then once I have my debts cleared, I kind of have like, wow, what can I do next? And in my first week coming back, I was like, nothing excites me at all. But now I'm starting to get pretty excited about like some possibilities. I mean, there's the option to move back to America. I could definitely do that. But yeah, so I could go traveling. Again, I mean, one of my biggest dreams since I was a kid is to go to Japan. And I would freaking love to experience living there. But like that would mean that I would have to most probably like get some sponsorship, like from a company, like work at a Japanese studio or something. I don't know if I'm into that. Like I really enjoy freelancing. I really enjoy kind of like being like a content creator and just doing my own thing. I really like just like working from my computer and possibly to be anywhere. But when I think about like going back to America, I don't know. I'm just like not sure. Like there's not really not much really excites me. Like I don't really want to live in LA. I don't think I would go back to Seattle. The one place that I would be interested in would be New York City. Like those are the only places that I'm really all that interested to live in. And I think I would like to live in a city, like a big metropolitan. I think that's where I just like feel the best. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. Should I go back? Like, I feel like I could still explore a little. I don't know. But so that's a cool thing. And that's kind of something that I'm just like keeping excited about as I just start to figure out what I'm going to do next. So I think that's it for now. This will be a short one for the blog, for a podcast. So just some updates. I figured out Discord and stuff, and I see how it's really cool. I really like that it's more like a messenger and more of a chat than like a Facebook group. I kind of see how I could do both in the future, but I really love the idea of having a Discord right now for us to just start chatting. And then a Facebook page I would love to do, but I actually like Discord a lot right now because it feels like something I don't have to maintain other than just like chatting in there with you guys. But like Facebook group, I think I would want to like be active in like having a nice banner and like posting photos often and doing all sorts of stuff. Whereas like Discord, it's more just like a community to like just talk. Like I think, if I'm right, I hope you guys would let me know. But it's like, it seems like it's just like a place to just chat, right? Like you guys aren't going in there looking for content, I would think. But yeah, so I've made it. I'm just like I'm thinking I'll just share the link at some point. But I also wanted to ask, so I don't know. It's up to you guys what you think of this. I would really like to hear your thoughts. Would you guys be willing to pay like $1, maybe even $3 to get the link to the Discord? And a few reasons here why I would want to do that. Well, one, I mean, yeah, it would be awesome for me to earn money while I do this, because the more time, like money gives me more time to work on this stuff, right? Typical stuff. And I mean, seriously, I'm dying to be doing this over other work that I'm doing. Another thing would be, but you know, I would totally do this no matter what. Anyway, and another thing is that like it would really weed out the people who are kind of just in it for shits and giggles, I guess, or like people who aren't serious about this stuff, and maybe even like, you know, cutting out any kind of like trolls or whatever. That would just really suck, right? Like it would be really great if like we could have as much of a safe space as possible. And then the other thing is that usually when people pay for something, even if it's like $1, they just act very differently. Like I feel like if maybe people paid even $1 or $3, it would like, I don't know, I just feel like people would be more active because it's like they've invested in it. So then like, you know, anyway, so just some thoughts. I was thinking, and the reason why I said $3 is because I could open up a Ko-fi page, and Ko-fi, I was looking at it, I can't seem to reduce it. Like I wish I could just get $1, but it seems like Ko-fi only allows $3. Yeah, so that's just a thing. So like I was thinking like you would just buy me a coffee on that coffee.com website. For those of you who don't know it's pretty much like Patreon, but except it's just tips. Like it's just a tip jar. Like it doesn't have like, there's no exchanges of goods, I guess. You don't give me $3 and then you get like rewards. It's just like, it's more like a donation jar. And then I would like put the link in the thank you message. Yeah, that would be really ideal. I would really love that. And I would love, I think having a Discord server would be really, really awesome. Just like talking to you guys, and then like getting feedback on some video ideas, just like sharing ideas, or like if something I learn, right, like on a book, or if I just like, I don't know, any epiphanies I have or any thoughts that I have, because I like journal all the time and I think about this stuff all the time. Yeah, it would just be really cool to be able to like get immediate, quick feedback, you know, from people, and yeah, just have like a little place to chat. I think that would be really cool. I have a feeling there was another thing I was going to talk about, but I already forgot. I think that was it. I think it's just the Discord. There was shit. I think there was something else, but I forgot. Oh well, it's okay for now. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Sorry this one wasn't as like art related. I mean, I think it is still like productivity kind of related. But you know, life happens, right? Like, so. All right, I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Oh, the other thing I was going to talk about. That's right. So I was thinking I'm going to start like amping up. I want to start amping up like videos in terms of just like actual videos, and then I'm thinking of transitioning this podcast episode style into an actual podcast. Like right now this is only on YouTube, but I think it would be nice to have it on an actual podcast, because these are long form. Like I want to just have this to feel like chatty. And I don't think the video, like the image, you know, is like very useful. I think having it in a podcast, it would be better for a lot of you guys who are probably just like listening to it with your earphones and not looking at the video, right? Like, I don't know, I just feel like it would be a different experience. Yeah, so let me know what you think of that. And let me know that if I do that, would you want me to still upload it to YouTube, or do you like it just as a podcast and then leave YouTube for like standalone videos kind of thing? And yeah, I think that's it. Okay, cool. All right, guys. See you in another episode. Bye.